Today, we are going to add on another strategy for our addition with regrouping. So our objective is I can add two-digit numbers with regrouping with branching. So today we're going to compare using our base 10 blocks to the branching. So here's our first one, and this one you can just watch, and then the next two you are going to do with me. So our first practice problem is 8 plus 49. And you can see I have my paper divided into two. So on this side, we're going to use base 10 blocks. And over here, we're going to use branching. So for both strategies, our first step is to build our addends. So the first addend is 8. If I'm using my base 10 blocks, are there any 10s? Nope. But I do have some 1s. I have 8 1s. So let's go ahead and build those. Here's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1s. So remember with branching, it's very similar to this, but instead of drawing the base 10 blocks, we're going to draw the actual numbers. So again, for the number 8, are there any 10s in the number 8? There aren't. So instead, I just have my 8 in the ones place. All right, let's build our second addend, which is 49. Remember, I build it below the dotted line. So 49, how many 10s are there? There's 4 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many 1s are there? There's 9 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so now for branching for 49, my 4 is in the tens place. I know 4 10s has the value of 40, so I put my 40 in the tens. How many 1s are there? 9. Now the next step is to combine our 1s. So let's count how many total 1s we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That is way too many 1s, right? So just like yesterday, I'm going to circle 10 of them. My 10 1s are going to become a 10. And now how many 1s do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now I'm going to show you what this would look like with branching. So again, you combine your 1s. So 8 plus 9. I know 8 plus 9 equals 17. But we know we can't have 17 in the 1s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 10, right? Because 17 is made up of 7 1s and 1 10. I'm going to take this 10 and I'm going to move the 10 into the tens place. So notice how when I'm regrouping over here, I circle 10 and I draw an arrow to move it into my tens place. With branching, I circle my 10, I draw an arrow to move it into my tens place. Now we're on to the next step, which is combining our 10s. So let's look at our base 10 blocks. How many total 10s do we have? Always remember to count the one that you regrouped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 10s. So now over here in branching, I have 10 plus 40. I'm going to grab my 40 and count up by 10. So 40, 50. So now when I'm looking for my answer, here I can see it's 57. And over here, it's also 57 because this red circle shows me that I took away this one and it's over here. So it's really like expanded form, 50 plus 7. So your sum, your answer is 57. All right, this next one you are going to do with me. So on your paper, you need to draw two. Actually, we're just doing 10s and 1s. So you can draw 2 TO charts. You don't even need the hundreds. Don't forget to draw in your dotted line to divide your two addends. All right, now that you have your TO charts, let's go ahead and start by building our first addend. So one of your 10s and 1s charts is going to be base 10 blocks, and the other one's going to be branching. So let's build our first addend, 16. With base 10 blocks, you need to draw 1 10 and 6 ones. Right, with branching, you know this 1 10 is worth 10. So you're going to have 10 in the tens and 6 in the ones. Remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and do your work and then replay when you're ready to keep going. Now our second addend is 55. Let's start with our base 10 blocks. 55 is going to be 5 tens and 5 ones. And now for branching, my 5 tens I know is worth 50. So I'm going to have 50 and then my 5 ones. Okay, next step is to combine our ones. Let's start over in the base 10 blocks. Count how many ones there are total with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Can I have 11 ones? Nope, so we are going to circle 10 of them. These 10 ones we're going to regroup into a 10 over here in the tens column. How many ones do I have left? Just one. So make sure, circle your 10 ones, draw your arrow and bring it over into the tens column. And then down at the bottom you can write that you have 1 left. Now let's go over to branching. I'm going to do 6 plus 5. I know 6 plus 5 equals 11, but again, I know that I can't have 11 ones. So I'm going to take my 10, I'm going to circle the 1 10 and draw an arrow and add my plus 10 over here because I want my 10 in my tens column. All right, let's move back over to base 10 blocks for our next step. Now we're going to combine all of our tens. Don't forget our regrouped one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 tens. Now over here, I have 10 plus 10 plus 50. I like to grab my biggest number, so I'm going to grab my 50 and then count up by tens. So 50, 60, 70. All right, so now my answer is 71. We are going to do 73 plus 19. So go ahead and draw your two HTO charts, just our tens and ones. Now that you have your two tens and ones charts built, go ahead and add your first addend into both sides, both your base 10 block side and your branching side. All right, for your base 10 blocks, you should have 7 tens and 3 ones. And for branching, you should have 70 and 3. Now add in your second addend into both sides, your base 10 blocks and your branching. For base 10 blocks, you should have 1 10 and 9 ones. And for branching, you should have 10 in the tens and 9 in the ones. Let's combine our ones now. Let's start in our base 10 blocks. Count how many total ones you have. Right, you should have counted 12, so what do we need to do? We need to regroup 10 of them. So make sure you circle 10 Add a 10 over to the tens. And now how many ones do you have left? You should have 2 left. Let's move over to branching. We have 3 plus 9. 3 plus 9 equals 12, but I can't have 12. So what do I need to do? I need to take my 110 and move it into my tens. All right, so I added it over. Now come back over to your base 10 blocks and let's combine how many total tens we have. Count how many total tens. All right, did you count 9 tens? Hopefully you did. Now over here I'm branching. I have 70 plus 10 plus 10. Remember, I grab my bigger number, 70, and I can count up by tens. 70, 80, 90. So your sum for 73 plus 19 equals 90, oops, not 3, 92. Okay, your independent practice is going to be more fact practice. As we keep going, we want to keep getting even better at our facts. So on this paper, you have 16 addition facts. And when you finish this, you can turn it into Edgenuity.